It's okay, Dixie, you can do it. It's just a puddle. It's not going to reach out long claws and grab you and pull you down. Just think of it like the slough you go and splash in all the time. Good afternoon, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow 4-H members. My name is Rae Fleming, and today I will be telling you about the good, the bad, and the ugly moments when breaking my horse, Dixie. I often wonder, who is breaking who? My mom told me to treat her like a child. It's my job to teach her respect, manners, and to discipline her when I'm not angry, which can be extremely hard to do sometimes. Horses can recognize a human's mood from their facial expressions and differentiate between anger and happiness. I also can read what kind of mood Dixie is in when I go out to catch her by her attitude to our other horse, Tony. When she is playfully nipping at Tony and coming up looking for pets, I know she is in a good mood. If she pins her ears at Tony and actually tries to bite him, or isn't really wanting me touching her, I know she's in a bad mood and to be a little more cautious while working with her. When I'm in the round pen, that's when I'm teaching her all of her ground manners. So this means establishing Dixie's respect. I feel like she's trying to do the same in return. Respect is earned by moving her feet forwards, backwards, left, and right, and always rewarding the slightest try. I often wonder who is moving more, her or me. I just need to be persistent. Sweat is usually dripping off both of us. When I think we have finally made some serious progress, she does something really bad, and I pretty much have to start over again, because you always want to finish on a good note. For the most part, Dixie is a pretty good horse. However, she does have some issues that I need to iron out. For example, she bucks when I'm riding her. The first time she bucked me off was because I let my guard down. We were on our third ride, and she decided that she was going to be stubborn and not move. So I gave her a little tap with my heels to get her moving, and she let her rip. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but it was the first time, and I was more shocked that she did it than anything. First thought in my head was, I am not in the saddle anymore. In fact, I am laying on her neck. And this probably isn't going to go well. I had to do some quick thinking and decided, instead of trying to get myself back in the saddle, I am just going to let go. I laid there on the ground with only my pride hurt. She was the one that was probably a little more worked up anyways. I could see it in her eyes. When she calmed down, I got back on, and we went for what now became an extra long ride to hopefully get that out of her. Well, I was wrong. She had more in store for me. Of course, being a green horse, she liked to buck at the most random times. But now that I knew she was unpredictable, I was always ready for it. She only has gotten me off one other time so far. We were out riding in the field along the fence line, which just so happened to be the fence that went around the horse pen. Out of nowhere, Tony came running up, which got Dixie all worked up. I pressed on, determined to ride out the sudden energy that Dixie had, even if we had been out for an hour already. It was starting to get dark out, and I was getting cold. So I turned Dixie to start heading back. Suddenly, she bolted. Tony right beside her. I didn't even have the chance to gather my reins before I was sailing over her head. This time hurt much worse. I was only in jeans, and it was pretty cool out, and both my legs hit the pommel of the saddle. I got back up, grabbed the reins, and climbed back on. We didn't get to go much longer, unfortunately. When I got in the house, my dad said he looked out the window and I was on, and when he looked out again, I was off. When I picked Dixie, she was the smallest of the group. She was a few months younger, so I guess I was just comparing a little too early. Then, last year, we all thought she had stopped growing. She was probably around 15 hands high, so she was a decent-sized horse. Through the winter this year, she just shot up, and now is at least another hand high. By the way, hands are the measurements used to measure horses. Each hand is 4 inches tall, about the width of your hand. I would really like to get this bucking problem figured out, because it's a farther fall down if she does get me off. Dixie has been a great horse, and even though she has a few issues we need to work through, I wouldn't change her for any other horse. Do I sometimes wish she was a gelding? Yes. Do I get super frustrated sometimes to the point that I have to get off and take a breather? Yes. Was the hard work worth it? Absolutely. I love her, and she has taught me a lot about patience and keeping my cool, and I'm glad. She reminds me every day of how great of a bond we have. Dixie will come to my call and is very forgiving. I've made mistakes with her myself, but we've pushed through. I would never trade her for any other horse in the world.